1945, a 30-ton beast called ENIAC woke up in a Philadelphia basement. It was America's first electronic computer, made of steel, thousands of vacuum tubes, and millions of hand-soldered joints. When they flipped the switch, the city's lights dimmed. The men who built it, John Mochley and J. Presper Eckert, were hailed as visionaries. But the real brains behind the operation were 6 women history almost forgot. They were called computers, a job title for humans who did math, handed blueprints, and told to make it work. They invented the very concept of programming by physically rewiring the giant machine. There was no manual, no language. One night, a calculation failed. The male engineers blamed the hardware. But Betty Snyder, one of the 6, trusted her intuition, crawled behind a panel, and found a single misplaced switch. She flipped it. The beast roared back to life. At the launch party, these women weren't even introduced. They were mistaken for models. They had just invented software. A few years later at Harvard, another brilliant woman was making her mark. Grace Hopper, a sharp-tongued Navy Reserve officer, was working on the Mark II computer. One day, it stopped. The culprit, a moth, trapped in a relay. Hopper taped it into the logbook, writing, "First actual case of bug being found." The term debugging was born, but her real genius was asking, why can't computers understand English? The men laughed. So she created the first compiler, a program that translated human-like commands into machine code, paving the way for modern programming languages. Then, the revolution moved west. In California, William Shockley, a Nobel laureate and co-inventor of the transistor, started a lab. But he was a tyrant. In 1957, 8 of his brightest engineers, including Robert Noyce and Gordon Moore, walked out. Shockley called them the Traitorous Eight. History calls them the founders of Silicon Valley. At their new company, Fairchild Semiconductor, they ditched stuffy hierarchies and invented the integrated circuit, putting multiple transistors on a single silicon chip. This was the big bang of the digital age, shrinking computers from the size of rooms to the size of your fingernail. From military calculators to personal tools, the story of computing isn't about wires and code. It's about the people who refused to accept the impossible, the women who programmed a giant, the admiral who taught it English, and the rebels who put it in our hands. Every time you click a mouse or type a message, you're using a piece of their legacy. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more hidden histories.